Hello everyone. In this module, we are going to learn about the LaTeX formatting, and following are the topics that we are going to discuss in this module. Firstly, we will learn about the LaTeX formatting. After that, we will see its font style. Then we will learn how to add math text in the plots, and we will also see where we use this math text. So let's begin. In the previous module, we have learned how to put text within and outside the figure. Now we will take it a step further by learning how to add mathematical symbols and formulas to a Matplotlib figures. If you have ever used LaTeX, you know how powerful it can be to render a mathematical formulas. And Matplotlib allow us to integrate text in its plots, and it also has an internal rendering engine for text expression called MathText. So there is no need to install anything because Matplotlib come with everything it need to make MathText operate. Now we'll discuss about the font style of the MathText. The MathText module uses free type 2 and text default font to provide textile mathematical expressions. Now we move to learn how we can add math text. The dollar character is used to indicate the beginning and end of the math text string, and enclosing a string in a pair of a dollar character triggers the math text engine to render it as a text mathematical expression. The next one is we should utilize raw string character and R character before the quotations and surrounded by the math text with the dollar sign. And the use of this raw string is very important so that backslash is used for text symbol escaping are not mess with the Python interpreters. So now we will see where we use this math text. We can add math text to any string on our Matplotlib figure such as title, legend, labels, text, annotations also. So now we will understand the concept with the help of example to clear our doubts. So here is our first example where we learn to add mathematical symbol subscript or superscript, and here is the code. So I explain you this code first. So firstly I import the matplotlib pyplot SPLT library. After that I import numpy library as np. Then I define data coordinate x and y. For x I use linspace function of a numpy module. So it starts with 5, ends with 20 and has num value as 100. And y is x raised to power 5. Next I call the plot function to create a line chart. After that I call xLabel function in the yLabel function to add labels at the x-axis and the y-axis. Next I call the title function to add a title to the plot. So in this title function I am defining the mathematical expression. So here I define two title method, and for both the title method firstly I define R character to represent the raw string, as it is a syntax for creating a mathematical expression. After R character I specified a single quotation marks in both the title functions, and within the single quotations I define math text or a mathematical expression, and this mathematical expression surrounded with the dollar sign. So I explain you the first expression. In the first expression I write y equals to x, then above arrow 5, which will be equivalent to y equals to x raised to power 5. So we can say that this arrow sign is utilized for the superscript. And in the next title function I write y equals to x underscore, then curly braces start, and in curly braces I pass base. So this expression is equivalent to y equals to x, in the foot of the it write base. So here we can say that the underscore and in the curly braces base is utilized for the subscript. Now I execute this code and last I call the show function to display the plot. So here you can see that it adds a title to the plot with y equals to x raised to power 5. Now I will show you how to add a subscript. Now I execute this code and you can see that it is y equals to x in the base, it writes base. So I tell you the meaning of a curly braces. Why I add curly braces? If I remove the curly braces and execute this code, you can see that here it only write b in the foot of x, not a s e. So we want to write whole string in the base, in the foot of the x. For this I start it with curly braces and end it with the curly braces. Now I execute it again and you can see that it write base in the foot of a x. Now let's see one more example, and in this example we will learn to add a mathematical symbol pi. So firstly I import libraries Matplotlib, PyPlot as PLT and NumPy as NP. After that I define a data coordinate, and for defining x I use line space function of NumPy, and for defining y I use sine function of a NumPy, and as an angle I pass pi function of a NumPy into x. Next, I call the plot function to create a line chart, and in this function I also pass a label parameter, and in label parameter I define the mathematical expression. Then I call x label and the y label function to add labels at the axis, and in the y label function I again pass mathematical expression which I pass in a label parameter. Then I call the ligand function to add a ligand to the plot, and I set its font size to 18 by passing the font size parameter, and in last I call the show function to display the plot. Now I execute this code and here you can see that it represents a ligand sign in the braces pi x, and on the y-axis it also represents the same mathematical expression. So I explain you this. So here you can see that for both the ligand and the y label, firstly I define r character to represent the raw string. After that I specify a single quotation mark, and within the single quotation mark I define mathematical expression, and the mathematical expression is surrounded with the dollar symbol. So here I write sign in the braces backslash pi x. So which will be equivalent to, here you can see that sign pi x. So here the backslash pi is utilized for the symbol pi. I show you what will happen if I remove this backslash and execute this code. You can see that this pi is written in a string form, not converted into a mathematical symbol. So convert it into the mathematical symbol, it is very necessary to add a backslash. So I add it again and execute the code. And here it again change it into the mathematical symbol. Now let's see one more example. So in this example, we will see how to write mathematical symbol and formulas. So firstly, I import the Matplotlib plot as PLT library. After that, I set the axis of the plot. For this, I call the xlim function and the ylim function. And for both, for xmin and the ymin, I set value 1. And for ymax and xmax, I set value to 6. Then I add mathematical symbols in the formulas. So for this, I call text function 3 times, and I assign text1, text2, text3 variable to it. So I explain you all the code. You can see that in every text function I define the mathematical symbol, And for this, I started with the R character which represent the raw string. And after R character, I started quotation marks. In first case, I used double quotation mark, and in other two cases, I use the single quotation mark. And within the quotation marks, I write a mathematical expression, or you can say that the math text. And the math text is surrounded by the dollar sign in each of the case. Next, I call the setP function to modify the text properties. So, in the place of object parameter, I pass text1, text2, text3 in the list form, so it can change the text properties of each of the text function. And I set its font size to 20, and in last I call the show function to display the plot. Now I execute this code, and you can see that it writes three mathematical expressions in this plot. So I explain. So in the first text function, I set x position to 2, y position to 2. And here I write it as sum underscore. In the curly braces, I write I equals to 1. Then I close the curly braces. After that, I add a arrow symbol, the above arrow symbol, and again I start the curly braces, and then I pass backslash infinity to it, and then I again add backslash to it, and I pass x underscore I, then above arrow with 2. So this is equivalent to, we call it a sum function or a sigma function. Sum function, in the basis it write I equals to 1 as I pass underscore. So it convert the x equals to 1 to its base power. Then I write above arrow and pass infinity. So I write infinity in string and I add backslash in front of this. So it converted into a symbol of mathematical expression. So it write infinity sign on the above of a sum symbol. Then again I add x, and I want to write this I on the foot of the x. So for this I write underscore symbol, and I want to write this 2 on the power of I. So I write above arrow and 2. So it will write 2 here. So now we will see next expression. So in this text function, I set x position as 3.5 and y position as a 3.7. And here I write lim underscore, and in the curly braces I pass x backslash right arrow backslash infinity. Then I close the braces and write 2. Then I add a symbol of a plus. Then I write backslash frac. Then I start a curly braces, and within it I write 1. Then I again start braces and I write x arrow with 5, and then I write equals to 2, and I close the dollar sign. So this expression is equivalent to this one. Lim, in the put it write x right arrow to infinity, then it write 2 plus 1 divided by x to power 5 equals to 2. So you can say that this underscore symbol write the whole expression that is written next to it in the curly braces in it put. So it convert the right arrow to symbol as we add backslash to front of right arrow string, and it also convert the infinity to symbol as we write backslash in front of this. Then it simply write 2, then it adds the plus symbol, then it convert this to a fraction as we write fraction, and in front of fraction I add backslash. So it write it as 1 divided by x to power 5 and equals to 2. So now we will see the third one. So in third one, text function, I set the x position to 1.5 and y position to 5. So here I pass backslash alpha equals to 0, comma, backslash beta greater than 5, comma, backslash gamma equals to 6. By using backslash, it converts the alpha to a alpha symbol, beta to a beta symbol, and gamma to a gamma symbol. In the code we pass string, but we add backslash before writing the string, so it convert it into the mathematical symbol. I tell you one more thing. What will happen if we remove this R, raw string character? So I remove this one and comment out these two. Now I execute this code and you can see that if we not write R in front of an expression, it will shows us an error. So it is very necessary to add R before starting mathematical expression. So I add it again and execute. You can see that without showing error, it shows the mathematical text. So with this we conclude that if we want to write the mathematical expression, we have to write R first. After that we have to add quotation marks. Then we have to pass a mathematical expression to it. But before passing mathematical expression, we have to add dollar sign in start and the end of the expression. So the interpreter knows it is a mathematical expression. And if we want to convert a string to a mathematical symbol, we have to add a backslash symbol in each case. So it will convert this to a mathematical symbol. So with this we have learned to add mathematical text in Matplotlib plot, and in the next module we will learn about annotations and arrows.